Hello, everyone. Hello, my name is Jackie Ellis. I'm from JackieEllis.com. I'm an intuitive guide and mentor and Reiki master. I help people decode the energy that they're using within their life so that they can create a life that they love. Now, the video I created this video originally, um, well, a little more than about a week and a half ago. And the messages that I received then for the week of the waning quarter moon, which is August 19th to the 26th, are still valid. But there was additional messages that have been coming through that needed to be said. So interesting enough, my original video, the mic wasn't working partway through. I didn't realize this. It seemed to be okay when I did my stuff afterwards. But obviously, something shifted in the divine between, I don't know, something shifted. I now have insight as to what shifted, but there is definitely a reason why I was asked to recreate this video. So there is more information than I typically will be asked to share with people in this video. And I've also been guided to release this video for the general public, which is typically not something that I have been guided to do. Typically, only aligned members, be aligned members in the Aligned app, will receive the full energy insight for the week. And my Rise Up group that work with me from a coaching perspective, they receive the energy insights to help them step into their power faster and easier each week. So, this is a special edition. This is a special message, several special messages that universe wanted us to know. The divine wanted to share messages for you of hope and empowerment to help you as we all move forward this week. It feels like we have been in a spiritual pause, but we are about to exit that spiritual pause in a very dramatic way. Potentially dramatic way is what I just got. But either way, this is our new beginning to create a life worth living, worth loving and living. Loving and and living. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I am being told that we are going to receive a message from Archangel Metatron to start off like we normally do. For these, I use Amanda Ellis's Oracle cards, Archangel Metatron Oracle cards. They're completely aligned. They're completely aligned with the messages that I personally received from Metatron, with my own personal relationship with that particular archangel. So Archangel Metatron, what would you like to share for the week of August 19th to the 26th? Interesting. Priorities, building blocks for life. Building blocks for life. So in this shape, I keep, it looks like a triangle, but I keep imagining the pyramids. He's saying it is pyramid. It is to help us align our energies in a way that is focusing on the priorities of what we are he's saying the priorities are our missions that our soul came here to complete. The angels are surrounding us. They're helping us shine light through our chakras, through our emotional, spiritual, mental, and physical beings, so that we can have grounding support and have the energy flow up through our chakras and we can complete our mission. When we allow ourselves to focus on the priorities of our mission that we came here to complete, we then shift into our heaven on earth. Okay, that's great. Oh my gosh. Okay, so many of us are like almost there. We're almost there, or we have a vision of what our mission that we came here to do was to. We have a vision of it. We just didn't know how to create that, or make that into our reality. It may be because we needed other soul family members that were given similar missions. We were guided to bring them together, bring ourselves together, and complete this mission together. It wasn't meant to be on an individual basis. It wasn't meant for us to have to strive to find the income to be able to raise the funds, raise the money in order to build what we were being shown that we were going to build. When we focus on the priorities right now, he's saying, is our own alignment with our true self. Making sure that we are focusing our attention and building the blocks that we need to complete our mission. Thank you, Metatron. Thank you for the reminder. Whew. Okay. Before I get started on the message, I just want to remind everyone that for each moon cycle, for each phase of the moon, it impacts our chakras and helps us. Impacts it's not in a bad way, although it may come across as something that's challenging as it's cleaning out the energies. But each phase of the moon helps us clear out our chakras in ways that are powerful and transformative in our life. Now, the week of the waning quarter moon is the week of our upper chakras, so our throat, our third eye, and our crown. This in particular is the domain for our visions, the vision we have for our life, dreams, the dreams we have for our life. It also provides us with dreams that are insightful as to our journey and what we may need to pay attention to in order to release what we need to release for the future, to receive what we want to receive, or what's meant for us to receive in the future. It can shake up our identity. It can feel like a bit of an identity crisis because we are shedding old viewpoints of ourselves that we've held on to deeply. It can show us that we are relying on this illusion of time in a way that's not healthy. We are thinking that time, we won't have enough time, or things need to take time in order for them to happen. And when we're doing that, it could be limiting our view on life. We could be thinking that we could have had expectations for it to happen a lot faster than it really could happen because of other things that needed to happen in order for it to be ready to be received, which is primarily the message that I am being asked to share today. When that happens, we can find ourselves getting really like sucked into a shadow space that is feeling helpless and worthless and not and stuck and feeling stuck. The domain for this week is helping us learn how to manifest, and it's really connected to how we are manifesting. So we want to make sure that, if we're manifesting, if we're looking at the lack in our life, then we're going to call in the lack. We're going to manifest the lack. We're going to manifest more of it. If we are focusing on the positive changes that we're making and the abundance that we have currently around us in various ways, even if we look at the plants and nature and how abundant they are for us and how much they are a blessing because they bring beauty and energetic comfort and healing to us, that is abundance in itself. And if we focus on that, then we allow ourselves to bring in more abundance. Certainty is, how certain are you in yourself as you do these steps that you are being asked to take? And if you don't feel certain, that is a message that there's something that needs to be released in order for you to feel like you have that foundation under your feet and you can walk with certainty. When we allow ourselves to do things in a way that's very much in alignment this week, or alignment with us in a heart-centered way, we are literally creating magic in our life. We are literally transforming our physical reality and our emotional state, our mental state, our physical being. Our physical well-being is huge. Huge. The Light Mastery Map that I have on my website will give you more information. It will actually tell you what to look out for. So when you are kind of in shadow or powerlessness, like when you're consumed with doubt, that's shadow or powerlessness. When you're preoccupied with things not being fair or feeling fair, it's that inner child going, things aren't fair. Well, that inner child isn't complaining. That inner child is like telling you that there's something you need to heal. When you expect others to fix things for you. When you're looking for permission to create a life that you love. When you're complaining life is happening to you, instead of taking responsibility for the things that you could do in order to make a difference. When you continue to focus on what is and what was instead of what could be. What can you do today to make a difference in how you are feeling in this moment? Powerlessness over time is shadow. Lacks inspiration or feels blocked or bored, shadow. And here's another one. If you are taking yourself or other people way too seriously, like you are getting upset and frustrated with everything and everyone, including yourself, you're in shadow. Basically, when that happens is our own masculine energies for any of those situations I just discussed are taking control over everything, and we're not listening or relying on our divine feminine to help calm us and give us the blueprint of the spiritual path that we are meant to take, that will help us understand the steps that we can take, the visions that we have. We are essentially, we are looking at things a very narrow way, very closed-minded way, and we're not allowing ourselves to allow the divine feminine to help us widen our perspective and look at things from a very open-minded vision for ourselves and for our life. Okay. Thank you. Oh my goodness. So I have my original notes that I took over a week ago. I have notes that I journaled this morning based on insights that I got direct from God, based on our current situation or what's happened since August 12th. And then I have a whole addendum of messages that I was asked to share with everyone. Now, the addendum, I'm told, is supposed to integrate into the overall message. So I'm hoping this doesn't jump around too much. I am really going to sit with and allow Spirit to guide me. So hopefully I'm setting the intention that I will be guided to say what I need to say through everything. Thank you. Okay, I'm being told that I'm not to start with the message that I was originally given because things have changed. I need to explain how things have changed. Okay, so last week I talked about how the harvest has begun. The harvest started on August 12th, which it was August 12th on the eastern part of the world. August 11th in my part of the world. Was when it originally started. Now, it continued through about 5:30 Mountain Standard Time, August 16th. So that was Tuesday afternoon, late afternoon. Overall, 88% of the people on Earth. Well, before I get into that, I want to explain. I'm being told to explain what the harvest is. Okay, so The harvest is when our souls go through gateways. Earth is ascending. Earth is raising her vibrations. She's raised her vibrations enough that she physically needs to change in order for us to create our new physical reality and create our legacies of love that we came here to do. Earth is ready. She's ready now. She's actually starting that transition. She's already started that transition and is almost complete. But I know some of you are excited, but I need you to listen to this entire message, please. Harvest happens prior to that ascension so that souls can actually decide whether or not they are choosing to finish completing their mission on Earth that they agreed to when they came in this life, or choose to start a new mission or carry on somewhere else. Some people have already completed their mission, and some souls completed their mission and chose to move on and continue their journey somewhere else. Some souls were resisting hard and refused to complete their mission when they were shown what their mission was. And those souls will be continuing their journey somewhere else. They will not be coming back to Earth. 12% of the population fell in these two groups. So that means 88%, and I love that it was 88%, but either way, 88% of the population that went through this harvest, which was everybody, 100% of the population around the world went through this harvest over those days. And 88% of the people on Earth chose to complete their mission on Earth. Now, out of that 88%, I want you to note this is much higher than what was initially agreed upon from a soul level. 36% of the people, 36% of this 88%, had a change in decision. The people themselves went through something from an unconscious or subconscious level that impacted the soul's free will. So the people consciously thought that they were making a choice to stay, but their soul felt like they weren't ready. From a soul level, they were resisting hard on the mission that they came here to do. They had both feet stuck in the dirt and they were pushing back hard. Every time the soul gave them the message to do something that they came here to do, they avoided it. They didn't want to do it. They reacted to it in a harsh way. The difference here between the group that have just chosen not to complete their mission at all and this group, this 36%, is when they were shown what their mission was to complete, something within their heart or their mind went, I can see the benefit that it would have for people on Earth or for people that I love. And yes, this is what needs to happen. So even though the soul had decided that that person was not ready to continue, that person's mind, their brain had gone, or their mind and their heart went, I don't know if I can do this, but I still want it to be done for the people on earth. I just don't know how I can do it. So they were left in this limbo. They were left in this, because their soul's free will was impacted in a way that it had already made its decision that this person can't continue on earth. So now this soul was left with, well, now this person feels like it should be done, and it should have been done. It could have been done, but that person was resisting too much. They weren't recognizing the energy that they needed to heal. And so something happened, and I was told exactly what happened. To impact the own free will of that soul. So now we have 36% of these people that are going to stay on earth for a very short time to complete their mission. Well, it may not all of them will be a short time because their mission was substantial. But it won't, I'll get into it. So now these souls were sitting in the harvest waiting period, wondering what to do, wondering what choice to make. 36% of the 88% that have went through the harvest and chosen to stay on earth, those 36% are not necessarily, they're not the original souls. The decision that they made, their souls knew that they weren't ready to complete it. Their souls knew that they wouldn't be able to complete it within the time frame that Earth needs them to complete it. Or in a way that is best for all humanity on Earth. So their souls, in a way to honor both the person's intentions and those that impacted that free will, the soul chose to swap out with another soul that voluntarily agrees to complete that mission quickly. So although this won't impact the earth or our collective consciousness negatively, because the souls that swapped out are higher vibrational souls that are already know how to live a heart-centered and heart-aligned life. It wasn't, the choice that was made was not created by free will. The situation that created that opportunity for additional decisions to be made was not created by free will. The souls had already made their choice prior to the harvest, but prayers and words that were intentionally used impacted a free will choice for those souls. This is why we need to really be careful that we are not using words in prayer or words spoken with intention that impact someone's soul's free will. Words create energy. Words impact other people. Even though if you mean well, and everyone that did this meant well, but what it's done is it's created a situation where that person's soul can't continue on earth because it chose not to. But the words that were said by people, whether in prayer or out of like a spoken intention, created a situation where their physical body is now housing a different soul. A soul that you don't know. And while that soul is here to do good for earth, it's not the same person that you knew before. Because that person's soul is moved on. So what does that do? There's effects from that. When we impact someone's free will, we create a karmic loop on ourselves. So that's why when we choose the words that we say, we need to be careful that we are not impacting another person's free will. So if you have found yourself struggling harder than normal since August 12th, there may have been something that you voiced, words that you used, thoughts that you put out with intention out of what you thought was heart-centered, what you thought was good for humanity or good for another person, but it impacted their free will choice. That it impacted their own free will choice from a soul level. These 36% will complete their new missions quickly, and many will pass on to reincarnate on Earth for their own soul's mission. So they'll finish the other person's mission very quickly, or as quickly as they can, and then they will pass on so that they can continue their journey on Earth in their own way. It'll be like done and done. Overall, this impacted the timeline of the harvest and Earth's ascension. So there was a time frame that was planned because we had only planned on the souls had decided a certain decision, and so there was a plan on the lands would be formed a certain way. There was a plan on the time frame as to when things would happen and when we would be starting brand new, starting our new beginning and receiving the abundance, the heaven on earth abundance that we have been working towards, so that we could actually, for some of us, get started on this legacy of love that we had signed up to create. And now that time frame has lengthened. The pause got longer. And it was very frustrating for someone like myself, because I was like, I just get these messages and then they wouldn't happen, and I couldn't figure out why until I was shown exactly what happened. Indecision during the harvest complicated and lengthened the time frame, and many of us globally felt this energy as those souls found themselves reevaluating what they were going to do, many with worry, anxiety, and uncertainty. Earth's ascension is now delayed as well, as these new souls needed to be recruited, and the divine needed voluntary agreements for each individual mission that would need completing. These voluntary souls are higher than fourth density for their ascensional vibrations. So they've already consciously, they have mastered living heart-centered and heart-aligned lives. So they fit in the mission for the world, for Earth. While this is good for Earth, the souls we knew in those people, the 36%, isn't the same soul we knew before August 12th, 2022. This exchange, while it honored everyone's choice in the end, has impacted everyone globally. Do not fret about what is to come. Abundance in heaven on earth was promised and is still waiting for us. The events for receiving this has just been delayed due to the actions taken by those that were reacting to energy that made them feel like they needed to bear another soul's choices upon their shoulders. So they took it upon themselves. They saw someone, or they saw groups of people suffering, and they took it upon themselves to alleviate that suffering in some way, asking that their journey be continued, asking for words to be said so that they could lengthen the time for those people on earth. That's called over-responsibility. That's doing things for other people that is against their free will choice. It's not empowering others to do it for themselves. When they did this, when people did this out of love, they did it out of love, but it was filtered love. It was shadowed love. It also impacted how the lands needed to be designed and formed in order to accommodate this massive amount of extra souls that weren't taken into account when the original plan was designed. So, delays. That being said, I was shown that we have done the work to allow ourselves to manifest this new beginning. Okay. Before I get into that, I'm being told to let people know how to, if they find themselves or feel like they're in a karmic loop, what to do. Okay. To release yourself from a karmic loop, what you essentially need to do is acknowledge what you've done or what you could have done, and send yourself love and forgiveness for doing things either intentionally or unintentionally. And then allow yourself to release it, release the guilt, and allow yourself to heal that energy, so that you aren't repeating the same thing again. Allow yourself to, what I'm being told, allow yourself to release any of the energy, all energy from not only this life, but other connected lives that you were reacting to, that made you feel like you were responsible for other people's journey. Forgive yourself for reacting to that energy. Forgive yourself for holding on to that energy unknowingly or knowingly. And then this will help you move forward in a positive way. Okay, messages. We have done the work to allow ourselves to manifest this new beginning. However, many are doubting and worrying that life as we have lived will continue as it has been because they aren't seeing physical changes to their reality. Do not fear. We are creating a new potential future for ourselves as a collective and personally. We are leaving the past behind and starting a new life in new ways than we have lived so far. Look within and you will be guided to the path that shows you new potentials for your life. There is a plan and a mission that we all chose to accept. Ask for clarity from your soul and lead yourself towards completing it. We are within a great way of our spiritual journey where we feel free to give back to others. This is giving us new potential for changing our lives. Celebrate with others as abundance is around you and flowing to you. I'm being told that that last one, if you don't feel it or see it in your reality in this moment, it does not mean that it's not coming. It is on its way. Again, we are in the great way, the period of time after a transformation where we are enjoying freedoms in new ways. This is also a time where we get to explore how to create more joy and abundance while not repeating past struggles. You get to choose how you want to show up in life and how you want to take action as you create a life you love. Leave old ways of thinking behind and shift how you are using the resources available to you. Life doesn't need to look as it did before. It could be more fulfilling, more abundant, more joyful. Allow yourself to receive the gifts awaiting you, and we will be able to create this legacy of love together. One message. First individual message. The gifts are flowing quickly as we are going through our own physical transformation. Allow yourself to receive what you are being asked to receive. There are many of us that are going to receive a massive physical transformation. And when we receive that, we will also receive gifts that we've had before that we didn't remember. So life will be new in that sense, because we will find ourselves being able to do things that might be kind of shocking. But we need to allow ourselves to be in this new way of living and receive the gifts as a way of knowing that it is meant for us to create something beautiful for not only for our own life, but for and those around us, but for the world. Number 2, while you may have received gifts, understanding them and how you are to use them may feel like a mystery. Well, look at that. Infinite knowledge is available to you as you explore the potential uses for your gifts. Look within and be open to exploring the paths that you may take. Gifts that you have received don't necessarily need to be used how they've always been used. we get to co-create something new and beautiful for the earth that is actually more beneficial than what it has been in the past. We get to expand the power of these gifts in ways that have never been done, in ways that help humanity on earth and help earth in ways that have never been thought of before. Number 3, you may desire what others have received. You know, the whole looking at what other people have and not recognizing what you have within you. That's what they're talking about. Know that the gifts you have are meant for you to receive. Take responsibility and own this new you. How can you use your gifts to help us create this legacy of love? How can you use the gifts that you've been given to create this legacy of love for Earth? I am sending you all much love. Much love. Until next time, be simply you. Love you.